Hey guys, welcome back to Ferrigno Freedom Channel. I'm Dante-Ferrigno. I appreciate you checking out the video. For those of you who have been doing a carnivore diet and watching my channel for a while now, you might be quite familiar with this type of issue coming up, as I've talked about it before when it comes to my own family. But something came up yesterday that really weighed heavily on my heart ever since. I mean, the moment I heard about it, it got to me because, well, ultimately the thing is he told me that he has a type of blood cancer now, and he's going to have to do certain treatments to try to deal with that. And I don't know at the time if I knew what I know now about cancer and how it relates to the consumption of sugar and insulin sensitivity and insulin resistance. But I was able to talk. I actually only met him a couple of years ago, and about a year ago we actually had a chance to sit down and talk about a few things. And one of the things that came up was how I had been able to change my life with a carnivore diet. And at the time, he said, well, heck, I'd like to know what I could do to get in shape like you have, because obviously you've been able to turn a lot of things around for yourself. You know, like I've told you guys before, I started doing this way of eating because I had a gut problem that doctors had no answers for. And I thought it was part of the reason why I was depressed and anxious. I didn't realize all the things that I've learned now about insulin resistance and how that can cause a lot of that. And I'm going to be having a video coming out very soon covering the insulin resistance. It's taken me a while to get all my notes together on that for you. But meanwhile, I just want to say that I know a lot of you out there have had situations where you've had people that express an interest in what you've done, but then a lot of times when you tell them, like what I told him, how it had cured my gut issues, how it had gotten me off of high blood pressure medicine, how it had gotten me off of omeprazole and other prescription medicines that the doctors were giving me. And even, I don't think at the time, I'm not sure, yeah, it was at the time, I had been able to quit taking hormone injections because I had been diagnosed with low testosterone all the way back 4 years, almost 4 years before I started eating this way. And now my testosterone levels are normal, all thanks to a carnivore way of eating. And he obviously listened to what I said, but he didn't. I know the guy. He isn't going to be confrontational about anything that he thinks that doesn't match up with what I said. And in times later, I would hear him talk about the food he would eat, about loving pizza and loving sweets, and that those things are all a sweet part of life for him. And I've gotten into a point in my life where I remember when I felt that way about pizza and foods and junk food and all the things that made me feel comfortable too. But now when I hear stuff like that, I realize that we've just been convinced that it's okay to like the garbage that we've all come to agree is food, because the food manufacturing companies make this stuff that's nutrient deficient, but full of things that get us hooked on the foods that they make, full of high processed garbage, full of high fructose corn syrup, full of sugars, full of seed oils, full of all the things that cause inflammation, oxidation, gut problems, that just turn our systems inside out and upside down, and ultimately lead to many of the chronic diseases that we face today. Cancer is one of those issues that is terribly exacerbated by sugar. As those of you who might be aware of from videos where I've talked about cancer and how it relates to sugar, cancer cells eat glucose heavily, them to have the energy and the building blocks to make more cancer cells. So it's like a power source for the cancer to grow and to spread. So when I found out he had cancer, it just broke my heart that he wasn't able to take the things that I had said that might have been able to keep him from having something like this happen. Because all I can say is my health has been tremendously better ever since I started a carnivore way of eating. And the only thing I know to do is to keep coming back here and sharing the information I share, and helping you guys to be able to see that a carnivore way of eating has made my life better than it has ever been. At age 50, I still feel better than I did when I was 17 years old. I don't have the struggles that I used to have with weight loss, and I also don't have all the problems that came from a lifetime of eating high-processed garbage, from a lifetime of avoiding fat that was actually good for me, because all of the nutritional experts out there were saying saturated fat was bad for you. And they were telling us to eat monounsaturated fats from plants and things like margarine and just the stuff that we all now know causes a lot of the problems that we're having. The indoctrination on the stuff we eat has been so strong over the past 40 plus years. These companies are really cashing in on having an unhealthy population. The healthcare system is right alongside with them right now too. Unfortunately, the way healthcare and food and government have come together to create this perfect storm for masses of people to be unhealthy is just heartbreaking to me. But that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. I keep plugging away at eating the right foods. I try to be an example for my family, because even my family, it's hard to get it through their heads how important this is. Granted, I'm so thankful they've been able to get off of so many of the processed foods that they used to eat. They've stopped drinking sodas. My wife has gone to a more carnivore-friendly way of eating, although she still is not 100% on board. It's just one of those things, though, that if you push too hard, you're going to push them in the opposite direction. It's kind of like that saying that Jesus said when he was talking to his family when he was back home at Nazareth. He pointed out that a prophet is not welcome in his hometown, because, you know, they know me. They know all the things I've done, and they know all the stupid decisions I've made. So it's easy for them to look at me and be like, yeah, you got all the answers, Dante. We know what a jerk you are too. So it makes it hard when the people you love, you see what they're going through. I see the pains my wife deals with. I see the weight struggles that other family members deal with. And I've had other family members deal with cancer and heart issues and things that I know are being caused by the foods they're eating. But I can't be like a professor that comes in and says, look, A plus B equals C to them, because even when I point it out, they still have heard so many times over and over the lies that have been told about food that they can't help but follow the herd. And it's a hard thing to deal with. But I want to encourage you guys, just like you guys encourage me, because if it wasn't for you guys coming back and watching the channel, and for those of you who support the channel by buying some of the products that I list in the description, and also by being on my Patreon and supporting what I do here financially, it makes it easy for me to take the time to do what I need to do to share this information with you. And I just wanted to come back one more time and let you guys know that if you're struggling with that issue with those that you love and you see what they're doing, the best thing you can do is stick with it yourself. Keep living the example. And when the right moment comes, you can gently encourage, but you'll know when you're getting pushback. And I would just encourage you not to push harder when you're getting that pushback. Just back off, keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully maybe some of the other carnivore influencers out here on YouTube will pop on their recommendation list, or maybe one of the doctors that are out there, and you guys can recommend those doctors. If you want to recommend Dr. Berry and Dr. Baker and Dr. Chafee, who are great doctors who are talking about this way of eating and how it can help so many people. Or you can recommend them to view some of the normal stories, whether it's from people like me on YouTube that are telling their story, or some of the people that I've interviewed in carnivore conversations. The list just keeps getting bigger and bigger of the number of people who have cured many problems, gotten rid of all that weight, gotten healthy, and changed their lives. And it's just going to take diligence, guys. It's just going to take sticking with it and being the example. I just wanted to come share that with you because it's weighing heavy on my heart, and I know there's a lot of you out there who are frustrated for the same reasons that I am, that those that you love and those that you know are not taking what you're doing and considering how important it could be for them. That's it for this one, guys. I'll see you next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
For those of you who like the shirts that I wear in my videos, a lot of these shirts are from my own merch shop. I created these carnivore designs because I like the designs myself, and I couldn't find very many designs that I would buy and wear in other shops, so that's why I've made these ones available. For those of you who have been looking at merchandise in my shop over the past couple of weeks, I also wanted to let you know that the company that supports my merch shop reached out to me recently and said they'd had some trouble with ordering issues over the past couple of weeks. So if you've had some difficulties with that, now's your opportunity to get my merch at a discount, because it'll be 25% off starting today and going on through October 26, 2023. 25% off. Go check it out. And thank you so much, because it does support what I'm doing here, and I appreciate your help.